You want to clap?
Yes, please. Why'd you look around first?
I wanted to make sure my door was shut.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because my baby's sleeping.
It was either that or Wolverines.
A little bit of both. A little column A, a
Yep.
little column B.
Yep.
It's tough here in New Hampshire sometimes. This is episode 233. Procrastinators assemble tomorrow.
Welcome to the show. This one's about video games.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
What did you think I was going to say?
I have no idea, but it was going down a different route.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I disappointed you, maybe.
Hey, it's the tone control.
Yep. All right.
Welcome.
All right. It's another episode of the Tone Control, the show where we break down the hottest gossip and news about yours and my favorite topic, Hogwarts Legacy. Everybody's talking about it, and so are we. We're going to bring you all the cheat codes, how to get the Dragon Patronus, how to be in Slytherin.
I miss cheat code era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they're built in. Like the last one I think I know about was Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Stuff like that,
it crept
right?
into
like
N64. You could put it in like wireframe mode.
Yeah, or I was playing old Star Wars games like, Dark Forces. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, that's the one
like
that
the
was,
Jedi
it was like a
Knights.
Doom engine one, right?
Yeah, those all had cheat codes, and I remember like, yeah, you play the game, but then like, oh, we can turn off gravity, or like unlimited ammo, unlimited health, like all that stuff was really fun.
Yeah,
I miss that. That was a fun time in gaming.
Yeah, I mean now it's like console commands, right? It's like in a game.
Yeah, but games don't even. I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I just haven't bothered to
Skyrim
look
did.
up.
I don't know. What was the last single player game I played?
Does God of War Ragnarok have cheat codes? I should look it up. I mean, who even can I like do big head mode? That'd be great.
like NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Yes, up, down, left, right, select
AB,
start.
select start. There's AB in there.
AB, yeah. Actually, so that's the Konami code, right? And that actually has different iterations depending on, because on like Super NES, like Gradius on Super NES, Gradius 3, you used LR instead of AB or instead of left right. I think I don't remember now that I think about it. I don't remember this.
All I'm saying is like life was simpler when you could just punch in a cheat code and like you remember you'd like print them out and it was like games like Mortal Kombat had it. Like, oh god, what a fun time. Anyway, I'm playing God of War Ragnarok right now.
Have a game Genie?
I never did. No, 'cause I was not a console kid. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like the thing that would plug in the back of the
it was like an in between. Well, controller. I had one for NES.
Sorry, it was like line, right?
It would basically plug onto the cartridge, and the cart would. It was another cartridge, and it would fit in. And then you would basically enter hex codes. You had like 6 double lines of hex codes or something, and there'd be a book, and it was pre-internet, so it was the book, or you could randomly guess and cause screwy things to happen by accident. Because you were directly and then like nowadays you can see like if you search for this on YouTube, you can find people who are like, in fact, there's this one channel that I followed for a little while where they're like dissecting the code of these old games, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES, like this notoriously weirdly coded game, and dissecting the code of all the hit animations. And he's running it in an emulator that like freeze frames on every line of code, so he can like check what's happening and visualize it all. And then you can go in and like adjust those memory values. And that's what the game Genie was doing. It was literally just finding a memory value. You know, you pick the one over there, and then what you want to change it to, boom, there you go. You've got a result. Suddenly Mario can jump super high or something. Yeah. And then our dog, one day when we were out of the house, chewed it to pieces.
Oh.
And that was it. I never got into the other ones. I think Nintendo was sort of mad about those. I think there was like legality and Game Shark or whatever. They got really mad and there was they stopped being a thing after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like reminiscing about all the extras that gaming stuff used to have, and now it's all baked into the games and things like the N64 Rumble Pack, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted your controller to vibrate, you had to buy the thing. All that like accessory stuff, it was more money. But the DualSense controller for PS5 is absolutely unbelievable.
It's bananas, yeah.
But it's also like, here's the controller. They make one.
Mm-hmm.
They make two now. But like, you know what I mean? There's just like, here's the controller.
Right.
And I missed some of that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the tone control.
Actually, speaking of, no, I'm not done with this. I just heard something super interesting the other day because the 007 GoldenEye remake thing came out for Xbox and Switch. And so everybody's been talking about that as well. And so there was like a little, one of my podcasts, I guess, ended up with this little bit of like history about its development. And it was really interesting. Like the game was like super delayed. It released like 2.5 years or something after the film. Like it was totally not coincident at all. They didn't advertise it. Like the publisher like totally was ready to just tank it and call it a day. And it like succeeded beyond their wildest dreams in spite of them. But in development, it went through all these other stages. Like originally it was a Super NES game. And then they totally changed it to be a first person. And then they multiplayer, the most famous part of it, was added at the last possible second, right before release. And they didn't tell anybody they were adding it because they thought they would get told, oh, no, don't do that. We'll just release it. But they put it in during the last like 30 days or something. So here's the thing. When they started building the thing, they had this idea that they were going to make the Rumble Pack be the reload. So you'd have to pull out the Rumble Pack and slam it back in to reload your gun, which they quickly axed because it was like a pain. But that was, isn't that so fun? Like that's what they're doing.
Shit.
They have these stupid Trident controllers and they're like, you know what we're going to do? Like, damn.
What an idea. Like that's sort of
VR
like
level stuff now, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's like proto Nintendo Wii, right? With like you're moving the controller around differently. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a funny TikTok or something a little bit ago that it's like, hey man, real quick, we need some pause music for this James Bond video game we're making. Doesn't need to be the most like important thing that everybody will remember about the game or anything. Don't sweat it. And then they just like play the clip of the like 16th note halftime
that
pause
everybody
music.
Fucking knows.
Yeah, like and like the guy doing the beat and the producer is just like, oh shit, we've done it.
Pure fire.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Well, that's a quick gag about Hogwarts Legacy instead of being a guitar podcast got a lot of mileage. So that was pretty good. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna
be playing. I'm gonna play it soon once I'm done with God of War Ragnarok.
Our friends,
Ragathor, as Beth calls it.
Over the weekend, like our friends, he bought it for their kids. Like it's Arya's friend and her younger brother. They're like 8 and 5. And
it's T for teen, is it not?
He was like, well, so far I haven't seen anything objectionable. And he's like, she was going, I sort of sat with her for like the first hour. And then I was like, okay, you're on your own. She keeps hitting a wall and not knowing what to do. And I'm like, figure it out. And apparently she really stuck with it. She played it for several hours. She got to pick a house, which was Hufflepuff. Cool. And apparently he stormed off at that point.
It's like, I don't even know you.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, he says nothing
No
objectionable.
kid of mine is going to be in Hufflepuff.
I've seen some reviews, and I mean, it is kind of interesting, right? That everybody in the game is like 13 or something, and you're at a school, but it is an RPG, and so everything is violence based. I mean, you're just hurting people like all the time.
You can, yeah. I mean,
so anyway. Yeah, I mean,
let's
get
not look under that rock too much.
We're gonna go. I mean, okay. Anyway, no, I'm not actually gonna break down all the cheat codes I don't have no idea about that. I've seen it. I've seen a video about it one time.
Big head mode. That's all I want for anything.
Well, it's a single player. You should be able to mod it, right? Like a Skyrim kind of situation.
Not on console, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, well, I don't know. They can do. I mean, the Bethesda games
They did it with Fallout.
Yeah, they do add mods to console.
Some of the more famous ones, I guess.
Can do it.
Anyway,
all right,
you want to
whatever.
talk about some stuff?
We could do some of the things that we actually do. So let's. All right. You know what? It's fine.
Thanks to Pedal Genie for sponsoring the tone control. Visit pedalgenie.com and start your wish list today.
It fired on click
also
number 2.
brought to you by our own podcast, The Tone Control.
Oh yeah,
there's new merch. Go find the merch and
find the merch. I'm trying to. If I have any merch on my desk, hold on.
I was looking through. I got this little tray of picks here.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about later. And my tone control pick is not in here. I don't know where it is.
I have a little pile of picks, and my tone control pick also walked away. I mean, I have a whole bag of them back there. Anyway.
Yeah, mine are somewhere, but I don't know where. I had one out, but
hey,
whatever.
We still don't have tone control knobs. We still don't have tone control
guitar
controls.
Pick
which I
ASMR. You want some guitar pick ASMR?
All right, let's do it.
Oh, sorry, I tapped the mic.
Oh man.
Like that?
That's all right. It didn't take me out of the mood that much.
Is it making your earballs tingle or whatever that's supposed to do? Yeah, man.
PickCon, their quarterly convention. Yes, Eric. All the picks have gone to their quarterly convention, and nobody gets to know what goes on there unless you're a plectrum. Well, anyway, how you been?
I'm fine.
That's good. There was talk about us virtually hanging out this weekend, and then I totally blew you guys off twice because we were kind of sick in this house.
I'm trying to think of what happened. So, let me go back. I'm looking through some pictures on my phone trying to remember what happened here.
What happened in your life?
Yeah. Chuck's doing some early, big air quotes, swim classes.
Right on, where
which is basically just like your little kid splashing around in a pool.
Yeah.
It's very fun and adorable, and it tires him the fuck out. So we got a really good nap afterwards. So that rules. Looking through, I've organized my spice cabinet. So
fucking watch out for this guy.
Fucking look out! It's organized by frequency of use. The only way to do it.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
Oh Huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is a kitchen undecipherable to others.
Right.
It's like
my
a security feature.
Yes, it is my kitchen. Yeah, frequency. I thought about doing alphabetical, but I was like, I don't use half this stuff that's going to end up in front.
Derek, where's the chili powder? Shut up.
Yeah, second shelf on the left, right? It's just friggin' right there. Stadium seating.
Did I pick one that you use all the time? It's probably right up.
That is one I use all the time.
Imagine I said one that you don't use all the time, and somebody's looking for it, and you're like, you know what? Whole cloves.
Whole cloves? What am I going to use those for? I use them once a year, right? What's the least used? Mustard seed, right? Whole mustard seed or something. All these whole seeds that I have. Yeah. Star anise.
You gotta have a grinder for that shit.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to use a coffee grinder. I assume
you can use a coffee grinder.
I assume it's because it makes them taste like coffee.
Yeah. So that's the most exciting thing that's happened here, I think.
I think it's pretty good.
I love it, honestly. I was growing to hate the cabinet, and I open it up every time I'm cooking now, and I'm just like, this is the life.
Guess what's near me? Exactly what I wanted.
Fucking everything. Why did I not just spend the $20 5 years ago? I don't know. I was like, who cares,
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is it. This is peak adulthood.
Well, we apologize for not being able to FaceTime with you guys.
Oh my God, no, don't. We were just like, are they busy? We were just bored. We were sitting around want to see what they're doing? I don't know. I can see what they're doing, I guess.
Yeah. Almost any other, Aria had strep last week, which is not that bad. It's kind of good because the poor thing, every time she gets sick, they end up testing her for strep. It finally is strep, and we're like, oh, this is awesome. We can actually give
Vindication.
you antibiotics. I can actually give you medicine for this instead of just waiting, So anyway, she has that and then kind of picks up kind of a secondary cold at the same time. And sure enough, by the end of the week, we both woke up like Friday night. We're like, And then we wake up on Saturday and we're like, yeah, we have a thing. So I will say this. It was not that bad, but it was weird. And according to our home tests, we did not have COVID. None of the three of us. That's the most I can say. But I will say that I felt all screwed up in my face, so I know it was a cold, but my body hurt a lot. And yesterday, there was like a movie night. We had like a little family movie time going on, and I fell asleep on the couch, which, if you know me personally, is enough to worry that I might be dying. I do not nap. So these things combine, but I also got over it super fast. I mean, I don't know. I'm vaxxed as hell. So I'm just saying, like, I could have just barely gotten a little COVID, but I have no way.
I had it and I felt real bad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It was not good. But now let me ask you this. Have you been sick in the last while? Like in the last order of years? Yeah. So is it that?
It might be. I mean, it was not as cold bad as most colds that I can remember. We don't get sick very much because when I'm in crowded spaces, I put a mask on. You know what I mean? Because it's just like this basic instinct now, and it's like I don't see why that would ever kind of go away from me. So and it's working. And I mean, my kid still gets sick. In kid fashion. She's not months old anymore, so it's not every week, but but anyway, so I don't know. I don't really think, but at the same time, it was weird to have a cold that was mostly body ache. So I have no idea, but it doesn't matter. I feel much better, and it's a 3-day thing. So that's
Jack is still.
If it is, I got it better than fucking anybody. So.
Oh, good. Jack is if he's not sick this week, he will be next week, but we can kind of plan on that, So you guys want to hang out? Well, he's sick now, so he should be fine by then. Yeah, let's do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway. Kind of quiet here otherwise, I guess. Keeping on.
Right. Well, should we get into the thick of it then? Do you want to hear a little tag light? I don't know what I've played recently. Have I played fucking, oh man, I don't know what I've played. Shit. Here we go. Let's take a drink break.
So fuzzy.
Yeah.
So fuzzy.
That was Bogner.
Eric thinks
Oxford.
it's the captain.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Bogner.
The captain hooks on a shelf over here. What's in the notes? Okay, so I have some exciting news, which I think everybody in Discord already knows.
Yeah, I already know this. Should I act excited?
No, it's okay. To our viewer and listener audience, I guess I am now sharing. I'm joining a cover band for the first time ever.
All right.
First practice is the day after tomorrow, and I'm excited.
Does this mean the possibility of actually making a little bit of money from
it actually does, dude.
Yeah.
So, which is really weird to think about because I was not caring about that at all. Every band I've been in, we've always done like a band fund, right? If you make money from a gig, it just goes back into the band to pay for things like
takes
merch
the edge
or
off
recording
the stuff
time.
That's coming out of all your pockets.
Yeah, right. Because like you're buying your own gear, obviously, and if you have to rent a practice space or studio time or whatever it is, band funds help that.
Yep.
But now, this is actually coincidentally the first time I am going to need to pay rent for a practice space, but it's really cheap and
shared, right?
Yeah, it's shared. Yes, it comes out to like $30 a month. It's pretty.
Oh, for the band?
No, for a head. So
individual.
For the 5 of
okay.
us.
Yeah. That's
still
less
pretty
than
good.
I think
though.
I ever paid. Yeah.
Yeah. In a place that is getting more expensive by the day, so we're happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't ever done the full-time cover band thing. I've always been in original bands or bands that sometimes do covers along with mostly originals.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And like the emo nights and
yeah, which is still that was more like we're taking a break temporarily from originals to do this thing.
Right.
But
it's a special event.
We were still an original band. Yeah. So I didn't really love that because I would always rather work on my own music, given the choice, and learning someone else's music is sometimes fun. It can be really fun, but compared to like my own creative output right there on the table, it's hard to want to put that away. So doing the original band thing with the cover thing mixed in was always like, all right, like it takes, it's just more work and it feels like the payoff isn't as good. It's not as gratifying, when doing originals. So, but now that it's 100% cover stuff, I don't have to worry about that at all. And in some ways it's like really
being taken away from something else.
Yeah. So it's like kind of really freeing in a way that's like, I can just go all in on learning the very smallest details of these parts and tones and whatever else I want to do and just have a good time and really not have to worry about what am I leaving off? Like, what am I leaving behind to do this stuff? So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've got helixes and things, which is ideal for this.
Yeah. So the other guitarist uses a helix rack for all this stuff. So this band already exists, and it's actually one of the members of Delaney, our bass player, Andy, who you know Andy.
Nepotism. I know Andy.
Yeah, Andy, who we've played in we played a million shows with Andy over the years and his bands and stuff. So he started this cover band and they needed a new guitarist. So they asked if I was interested. Andy knew I wasn't in a band because we were in the same band for a while and then we broke up. But I was like, yeah, I'm interested. Let's give this a try. Yeah. So the other guitarist, Matt, uses a Helix. I have my Helix floor, but I think for now I'm going to be using the HX Stomp with my pedal board because I do just still want to use my pedals.
Yeah, sure.
I just like that stuff.
But you're not having you're not bringing an amp around and you're not confined to an amp sound. You can still kind of reach anywhere with that. You can have your It's like that thing of. I can remember these, the rig rundown things with Jimmy Eat World and talking about his, I guess they were fractals that they were using. I don't know. Anyway, but the point is he had his floorboard and then like they had all their songs. They had they've done it to the nines, right? They had all the things, click to the next song, all of you're pushing a chorus button and a verse button and a bridge button. And then he had all this page at the end for when they're doing like encores or if they want to screw around and it turns into a pedal board, right? So you've got your Helix, the thing, and then there's the pedal board that has the basic shit on it. It's got your basic shit that's always the same, and it's not having to be pre-programmed. Yeah.
Right. And it's fun to do it that way. You can program a Helix floor to act that way too if you wanted. You can do the snapshots with like different parts of songs and then flip it over to pedal board mode.
Yeah.
Which I've done as well. It works great. But like with the HX Stomp, I'm looking at it on the floor here. That's why I'm like doing this. But I can do like different amps for different kinds. It's just like a decades hits band. It's not an emo cover band. It's not a 80s cover band. It's just, we're just doing hits, like just big songs over the years. So there's everything from Shania Twain to The Darkness to Genuine and everything in between. And so there's big need for a lot of different guitar sounds, basically. So it's really fun to be messing with the amp side of things a little bit more. And then, like you said, having my 6 other pedals on here be the constant. So I know like I need a boost, got a boost. Need a chorus, got a chorus. And I don't have to like program that every time. So
Right.
It's cool. And I'm using a little bit of MIDI for the first time. I'm teaching myself MIDI now with all of this because
what does teaching myself MIDI mean? Tell me about that.
Sorry, teaching myself how to connect my pedals with MIDI.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm using the HX Stomp as the brain of all of this. And I'm having it's only 2 pedals, so I'm having it tell my timeline what to do. And that just involves moving from preset to preset on the timeline, essentially. Or if I go to one preset,
tempo probably.
Yeah, so I can tell it like use this preset, but change the tempo to that instead. And it locks it in with the preset for the song. So when I switch it to my Alanis Morissette preset, it jumps over to that with the right tempo and all that stuff. So it's cool. Yeah. It's a lot to wrap your head around, but it's fun. If I decide against it and just unplug it all, it's not the end of the world. I can just go back to regular right. Stompbox delay stuff. But yeah, I mean, we might be doing in-ears. Eric's asking if we're going to do in-ears. We're talking about grabbing one of those Behringer iPad controlled things to do an in-ear X32 rig and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I think they make an 18 that they're looking at.
Okay.
I leave all that to the powers that be because I don't know anything about that shit and I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's like I'm pretty sure that's like rolling in with your own sound reinforcement kind of zone,
basically,
right?
Yeah. So I'm going to be bringing my FRFR cab on Wednesday for our jam just because we don't have any of that stuff yet. Okay. So we'll be going just big and loud for the first little while. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm excited.
Did you guys in Delaney, you guys used in-ears. Did you guys ever do practice that way? Did you ever just not have
We
amps?
did practice that way every time.
Really? So the drums were the only thing that was loud?
The drums and the bass were loud. Okay. Andy was not using in-ears for Delaney. And Matt was playing through a guitar amp with a cab, but the cab was mic'd and
okay.
Quiet. But he had it up enough to fill the room for the drummer to hear and for Andy to hear on bass. But when I switched over to Helix, it was like, I could hear myself loud and clear. And then suddenly the other two guys were like, something's missing. It's like, oh, guitar 2 is like not present. Turn it up in the room.
Playing?
Yeah. So, because we had the backing tracks and the click track, we were rehearsing to a click. So that was through the in-ears with that as well. So it was all together.
Yeah.
So, that's what's happening. I said like nothing's been going on, but that's what's been going on here. And I like just didn't want to,
admit it.
Bury the lead, I guess. Yeah, man.
Cool.
So on my board now is the Stomp the Timeline, my Mjolnir, King of Tone, 1981, and the Walrus Audio Juliana. And it's been an awesome rig. Loving it.
Sweet. Wicked good. Okay. And I think next let's talk about this demo.
I lost you, man.
Uh-oh. All right, we have to pause here. We have to wait.
Oh no, this is a bad one. Is it
coming back? We're just gonna keep talking. We're gonna vamp. It's gonna be fine. We're just vamping.
Justin,
I'm moving my hands. Oh, Derek's getting crispy.
Now they're moving really fast, catching up.
There we go. All right. So that's funny. Like I was pretty in time with you the whole time over here. That's interesting. The way that goes down. Anyway, hey, thanks the internet.
Yep.
Man, we live in the Stone Age. This is awful.
Sometimes it is, like
it's like, God damn it, Elon Musk.
Right. He was supposed to be the one. He was the chosen one.
oh God. Yeah, that just makes this whole thing make a whole lot of sense now that I think about it. Anyway, what do you say we talk about some Hawaiian pizza?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I've got. And listen. I forgot to make sure my thing was set to the right window before I switched to it. So that was fun. It's a fuck it, we'll do it live moment.
Yeah, I finally got around to demoing the Hawaiian pizza, and I didn't stream it or anything. I was just like, I want to do this demo. I want to like get in with this pedal. So just after dinner one night, I came up here.
We can talk about your experience right now instead of, because it wasn't a live stream is what I'm saying.
Correct, yeah. So actually, I try to do this sometimes. I started this demo by doing the bass first,
Oh,
and
cool.
like by writing the riff on bass first, and because this thing sounds fucking great on bass.
Yeah, the bass on this is pretty rad.
It sounds so good, and there's a lot of really good sounds in the Hawaiian Pizza for bass. So I plugged it in and just like where it was set from the last time I used it, and I pulled up an SVT Pro, and sure enough, like that's the sound, dude. Sounds really good. So I was messing with just like everything. All the two guitar parts are slightly different tones. The lead part's a different tone. Like with the what is it? It's not a sag, but it's like a supply voltage. That's what it was.
Right.
Just all over the place. But yeah, came together quick, and it was just really fun to be doing that again. So even if I'm not streaming them, I am going to be trying to doing these demos more, because the time of day that I was doing them before is now taken up by being a dad. So I got to find other time to do it. So, but yeah, Hawaiian Pizza by Caroline. I liked it a lot. It's on my Reverb watch list for someday when one gets real cheap.
It's pretty cool. I also didn't do. I've done like a video of mixing them, and I was about to do that, and I opened up our YouTube and went to see. Actually, let me see how many of these, because I've done a few of these. How many views do they have? They all have one view. So I did not do that. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Well, they're Patreon exclusives. I
was gonna say, yeah, they're private mostly. So.
Still, that's not one. But so what that says to me is it was probably Derek.
Yeah, just like seeing it. Oh, there it is. Let me take a peek.
When he went and shared it to Patreon, is probably the one view. And so I said, exactly 0 patrons looked at this, so I didn't bother. So let me put it to you this way: like, I'm not trying to get out of producing content. It's really not that big a deal. I'm doing the mixes anyway, and just to turn it on and like to have my mic going, so I'm sort of narrating what I'm doing. If anybody finds that interesting among the Patreon supporters, please go. So. They are there. Check them out. And if you like them, please say so to me, because at this point I've decided nobody cares. But I will happily start doing those for all the demo mixes if you guys like that. And the files are available as well, aren't they, for a certain Patreon
that's
level?
Right. That is right.
I think we just make our demo folder on Dropbox just available to patrons. So Derek puts his files there, and there they are. There's the multi-track. I drop the mix in. Challenge me. Do your own mix. Beat me.
Yeah,
do it.
Remix challenge.
Do it, you baby. Anyway, yeah. Also, I used UAD Luna for this again. I feel like every 6 months or so I should dig that thing out and see. And you know what? It's a lot better. Nothing seems to have changed, but last time it felt super sluggish. I mean, nothing feature-wise seems to have changed, but it used to feel super sluggish and weird, and some of the plugins like weren't saving their settings and things like that. And I encountered no issues. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like, do I need to say what this is? This is the DAW that UAD made that basically is supplied for free with all of their hardware. Well, basically any of their digital products. Like at this point, yeah, I mean, I think you need an Apollo to run it, but now that UAD is branching out into having native plugins as well in the under the umbrella of UAD Spark, I'm not sure if that might change, if they might have it as as included with Spark or something as well. But anyway, it's definitely like a music focused thing. It's not something I would want to edit dialogue or something in. It's just very like music forward. It's there's a lot of familiarity. If you know Pro Tools, there would be a lot of familiarity with this, but with kind of some modern appointments and some simplification. So I get along with it pretty quickly because of that. And yeah, so I don't know, it was all right. I'm tempted to, the next time I have maybe not a whole band. Next time I have a singer-songwriter or somebody in here, something that's not going to be like, 30, 40 tracks. Maybe I'll maybe I'll record it in here, because I kind of think that's the the where this thing might sing, because of the way it interacts with the hardware that I have, it's really going to be fluid between an input track versus a mix track. Whereas with Pro Tools, I have to have the separate app open to be the monitor mixer and all this. It's a little bit, disconnected and clunky. So I don't know. At this point, it might be not buggy enough. It might be unbugged enough that I kind of want to give it a try. So anyway,
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Fucking A. All right. Do we...
Let's talk about... what?
I'll talk about anything.
Yeah, you want to talk about reverb pedal?
Sure.
Sure I do.
Sure I fucking do. Do you want to hear... What haven't I done? I haven't played this in a bit.
You want to hear a funny story? It's maybe not. It's not funny, but I want to hear a story. When we first brought Jack home, in those first 7 days or whatever, really ragged, rough time, trying to figure out what he likes, trying to figure out how to put him back to sleep, try to figure out what I'm doing in the middle of the night, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that came to mind for me to hum to him to calm him down, was that demo.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. And because it was short enough, and I was like, I don't know any kids songs. I don't know any nursery rhymes. I don't know anything. I just am so out of touch with all of that. I don't know any Disney songs, none of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what can I sing to this kid to I'm not just going to start singing friggin', I don't even know what, just something out of my iTunes library that ends up being completely inappropriate. But so just humming the melodies of songs and stuff. And that one was always, that demo just stuck in my mind at 2 a.m. to be the thing that you just sit there and quietly rock him and hum that back and forth, and it worked.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Supermoon by Mr. Black.
Yeah. Puts your babies to sleep.
Puts your babies right to sleep. They love that Supermoon. I'm just while you were telling that story, I couldn't help but notice in my video monitor, it's very small, but was my dog licking her ass the whole time we were talking? Because we'll have to review the podcast later. She's right there over my shoulder, and I happen to look down and
check the tape.
Yep. Thanks, Ginny. That was really cool. You did it at the right time. You're good.
How's your butthole?
How does that taste to you? Okay.
Friggin' ace.
Nailed it. All right. So anyway, okay. So we're talking about a pedal. Is that correct?
We're talking about the Strymon Cloudburst.
The Strymon Cloudburst, which that demo was not made on. It was the Mr. Black Supermoon. But anyway, so the Strymon Cloudburst, is this I'm just looking at this right now. Is this a little baby of the Big Sky?
It's a baby of the Blue Sky, even. It's smaller than...
Oh, because there was already a baby of the Big Sky.
Yeah, so the Blue Sky came out first, and then the Big Sky years later. So this is the Cloudburst ambient reverb from Strymon, and it's in a new form factor for Strymon, which I think is kind of low-key my favorite thing about this, is that Strymon's kind of breaking away from their footprints.
Yeah,
So compact, good. It's like a regular pedal size. It's still got the Strymon brand identity, the design language of Strymon, the bent aluminum enclosure and stuff. So this pedal, however, is based on the cloud mode from the Big Sky.
Okay.
So they've taken that thing.
The ambience, yeah.
Yeah. They've taken the cloud setting and they've broken it out and they've tinkered with it a bunch under the hood and put it in a new box. And you can have it for $279.
Which is an awfully good price for a Strymon pedal. I guess you are getting just a tiny fraction of a Strymon pedal, but
it's a good fraction. It is one algorithm from the Big Sky. But that being said, it is one of their most popular sounds, and it sounds fucking great. So
it looks
what
like we
else
still
do you
got
want?
quite a bit of options here. I mean, there's some stuff going. There's the ensemble switch, right? We've sort of got two I can tell that there's two loudnesses here.
Yeah, so the ensemble thing is really interesting. And on the site here, it says it analyzes 48 different frequency bands as you play, generating upper harmonic partials of what it finds in each band. And so as you play, it is learning,
ensembleizing
listening.
you. Yeah.
It is understanding what you're giving it in a way that is, it knows what to do with it in a smart way that's not just making a washy reverb mess.
Right, because you can have trouble with partials if they're playing out of key with you. They can. If you're not careful, right? So this is, I assume this would be managing to stay away from that kind of zone.
And it does. And so when you change pickups or playing styles or whatever, you're moving along on your guitar, it is adapting to that in a very nice way, in a very real time. So that's a pretty killer thing. It creates this ambient pad underneath what you're playing in a way that is #musical and usable and isn't getting in the way. It's not clashing with what you're playing because it's adapting on the fly. So combine that with a pre-delay knob, as all reverbs I think should have. And this is like the ultimate compact option for ambient reverb. And affordable too. That's not a Blue Sky.
Right. That's not.
Blue Sky's fucking $379 now. Like, it's a lot.
That's the little one.
The little one. The big one is $479.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're getting up there real quick. And I don't know.
So this mono stereo switch too, this is so that they must put stereo on a Y cable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also got MIDI over a TRS.
Okay. Expression.
So like the new Mark IIs of many of the Strymon pedals, they have USB-C on this thing. And I'm telling you though, it's the size. Like that's the thing. It's the size. And yes, it sounds awesome. Like I would not expect anything less from Strymon. But what I'm seeing here is that their compressor should actually be in this format. Their phaser should actually be in this format.
Like most of the stuff that isn't, the things that don't need the million presets and stuff, like they should have already been in this format.
Yeah, or more than 5 knobs. Like some of the stuff, I get it. Like the Flint has 2 sides, a reverb side and a tremolo side. The other form factor works well for that. But geez, I mean, I don't know. Like, what's the compressor has a boost on it probably, or is it a preset switch? Like, who needs a preset on a compressor?
I have no idea. I've not paid attention to the Strymon.
Yeah,
compressor.
I just think like it's so clear that like, oh, we needed this size Strymon pedal 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's my take, I guess. And now we were talking about it in Discord today. Is Strymon going to continue kind of breaking out the big pedals into their smaller form factor
constituents?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I think the next move is really for them to update the big pedals, because they just did an update of all the now medium-sized pedals, like the Blue Sky and the Flint. Those all got updates that they feature USB-C. There's like an actual hardware update to them.
Okay.
So the knob layout's different. There's some other stuff going on. They're updatable, which is kind of the thing. The Big Sky came out in 2010. And it has, yes, it's updatable over MIDI, but I don't actually know if this is true. I'm fairly sure they're not updating the algorithms because those are like printed on the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're not
names,
changing not changing the names. They may be changing like what they do, how they sound a little bit, or the parameters within. But otherwise the pedal's largely the same, and they're changing like quality of life improvements about using them with those updates.
Right.
Which are pretty dang infrequent. Every few years there's one. I've never updated my timeline, for example. So, because I need a fucking MIDI to USB connector.
Okay,
so,
that kind of bites.
Which super bites. It's like a $40 thing that it's just annoying. And
it's stupid to have.
It's stupid, yeah. So, meanwhile, why doesn't my timeline have USB on it? Right? Like that's what gets me.
Yeah.
So, I think I said this earlier in the chat. My wish list for the big pedals anyway is a better screen, like not just a classic alarm clock radio LCD screen, and a more normal power consumption, which is maybe a high ask, I guess, and a USB. Just let me update it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. People talk about the size of these a lot, and I just want to mention quickly, I don't think the size is that big a deal. It is actually the Timeline anyway, and the Big Sky and the Mobius are all the same form factor. They're smaller than I thought they would be.
Yeah, they're not
when
that
I got
big.
mine. Yeah. It's no bigger than my HX Stomp. So if you're familiar with that, it is essentially the same thing. Yes, they're big, but I think they can not be smaller and be the workhorses they are. Just because the thing has 9 knobs on it. Like, where are you going to put those?
Yeah.
You'd be stripping away features,
Right. I don't think that, right. I mean, I think this is a good form factor. I don't think they were missing a mark or anything like that with the other one. It's pretty compact for the kind of thing that it is. I mean, if anything's going to necessitate updates, it would have to be market pressures. I wonder if that size of pedal kind of continues at all. It's hard to believe they need to be that big. Not that it's like a problem, but like, why couldn't you put Big Sky in the Blue Sky case? What feature
I think it's
would
just
you strip
because
out?
It'd be presets, like clearly accessible and visual presets of like reading the name.
Okay, so how about this? Instead of like saying like put it in that case, like put it in that case, but now there's like a touch screen or something, because they're not going to step out of the premium pedal world, right? So we're definitely going to have a like upper crust kind of. I think if they do that, like they don't need to stick with that very large case. They could go to their medium case or whatever. But it's going to have some kind of touch screen like features to present that information.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real thing. Like if I had something that complex, the time that I've used a Big Sky, it was confusing.
They are, yeah. And you do need to really read the manual with this stuff.
Yeah.
And
I would like more feedback. I would like more explicit stuff. I would like knobs that have colored rings, things like that. And I think if you're paying as much as Strymon charges, those are things that could be that should be kind of expected from that. And then there's this.
Yeah.
Like if they want to do this is great. This isn't confusing.
Yeah, so like
it works just like a regular pedal.
This works just like a regular pedal, but it's got USB-C, so that means something's coming for it, right? I don't know what, but maybe someday they'll update it.
So the confusement can be loaded via USB.
Or it's how you're managing MIDI presets or whatever. Like that is a convenience factor, like a quality of life change. Again, you look at these other pedals that are like these epic DSP machines that they come out and then they are frozen in time from that day.
Well, that's not, there's no need for that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And so you would never say that about like an overdrive pedal, but it's not this thing that's like a computer that you step on, it's that's a deep tone control joke right there. It was also about a delay pedal.
Year 10, calling back to year 1.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I just think, I don't know. Where do they go from here? Obviously, I think it's clear they're going to expand this new, smaller lineup.
Yeah.
They'd be crazy not to. But because it's a much better size, it's a much better price. And I thought about buying a Blue Sky at one point, and then I saw the price tag, and I was like, fuck that. I'm not spending $400 on this thing that it would be like, that's a good reverb.
Yeah.
So.
Like an okay
But anyway,
reverb.
like the Cloudburst, this is the one. I think their prices just went up with these V2s, and like you may call it inflation or whatever as well. I don't know, but because like a new hardware update came out at the same time. But they shouldn't be that expensive. Like get this one.
Yeah, we'll see where the market pressure goes, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So.
Cool, man.
All right. Well, good on this one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Strymon, well done.
I think it's out. It's either available or up for pre-order or something like that. $279. It's expensive, but Reverbs get expensive.
Yeah, there's plenty of regular pedals that are between $250 and $300. It's not very low cost for a Strymon product. So anyway,
I'm realizing now I forgot to put Pedal Genie in the show notes because I don't have a pedal. But that's stupid.
Well, Hawaiian Pizza is technically a Pedal Genie pedal.
That is true. It was from like a month ago, but yeah. Do you have a pedal yet, Justin?
What do you think? I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Spoiler alert, I don't have a pedal. Okay, I am going to definitely fix that tomorrow.
You got it, man. I believe in you. Tomorrow's the day.
Honestly,
Procrastinators assemble tomorrow.
Today kind of got away from me, but that doesn't explain my behavior over the past month and a half. Okay, I will fix that. I will start having pedals again really soon. I promise.
Okay.
I will figure out what the problem is and get that changed.
Let's get it.
So, do you want to do the thing anyways?
Let's do the thing anyways. Nobody's in the chat tonight. Well, we had some people, but they had to take off, unfortunately. Yeah. The gift call was toast, and I kind of want to save it for when people are here because I think that'd be a good one. We're going to save toast for next time.
We're going to save toast. We'll run the ad anyway and see you then.
Pedal Genie is like the Netflix of guitar pedals. Rent any pedal you want for as long as you want, for one low monthly price. Shipping is included and there are no late fees or time limits. With over 1,500 pedals to try from nearly 100 different manufacturers, Pedal Genie definitely has the gear you want to try. Subscriptions start with Flex at just $22 a month. Try out one pedal at a time for as long as you want. Send it back when you're ready for the next one. For only $47 a month, the standard subscription includes shipping, so you could have a different pedal every few days. If one isn't enough for you, Pedal Genie Pro gets you 3 pedals at a time for only $77 a month. Shipping included. There's a subscription for everyone, and best of all, your first month is free. If you find the pedal of your dreams, the one you just have to keep, Pedal Genie will offer you a buyout option. Prices vary with the length of your membership and the type of pedal, but you'll definitely get an awesome price for the pedal in your hand. So head to pedalgenie.com to fill up your wishlist with pedals, and they'll send out your first pedal ASAP. Pedal Genie. All your pedal wishes granted.
Since that's the first time in a long time that we've run that ad and I've had nothing to do but wait for it, I have a real, I don't know what to do with my hands situation. You know what I mean? I was like, what is happening? What am I supposed to, I'm just realizing like I actually don't have a button that just takes me off the screen. Maybe I should have that. I don't know.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. But we're still on the screen. So anyway, very professional operation. I think it's the takeaway here.
The music in that, like, again, this is the first time I haven't been distracted by something else, and I haven't listened to that Nintendo Wii shop music closely in a long time, and that's great. Like, it is so good.
Absolutely slaps.
It's just pure, you know?
Yep. And it is exactly what it is trying to be.
I feel like shopping, perhaps at Pedal Genie.
Sign up now. All right, what's up?
I needed something for the show notes. So I thought we'd talk about picks.
Picks, look at these motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I bought some picks I've had some honey picks here for a while, and I really like them. I like them a lot. I have some of those Kieranite picks. Here's one with some holes cut into it for easy grippage.
That's for the speed, right? So that it's aerodynamic.
Yeah, it weighs less.
It's very fast, the air, and it's very good. You can pick faster with it.
I got this because the back of some of their other picks is a little too slippery, and I wanted to grab onto some stuff a little better. So I bought a bunch of picks from them recently, and in the last year or so, I've gotten into the honey pick thing. So honey-picks.com. These guys are great. I have picks now in a number of sizes, and I wanted to just run this by you, Justin. And I want to see if you can, I feel like I can hear a difference. I also can't tell if I am just feeling a difference in my hand and it's sort of like I'm confusing my senses, you know? So I've got a 1.5 mil.
I know there is some like clearly audible differences on acoustic guitars between
That's
like
true.
thick and thin, but I'm not sure how much I assume some of it would translate to electric. So that's the preconception I'm going into this with.
So here's the other thing. These are all mostly the same material, and I will say they are all the same hardness, though. So thick or thin, there is no flex in these picks. They are not celluloid. So
now that's different.
Even the thin ones are. My thinnest one here is 1.5 ml, which is pretty thick.
It's a big boy.
That's a big one. So these Ultex ones, like the little yellow one, the Jazz 3 yellow that you have there, that I gave you. I think this is a 1. What is it?
Which still hasn't walked away, by the way. Not
that one right there. I think those are
picks went to their convention, but this one remains.
These might be like 1.17s or something like that. So over a mil, like 1 ml is kind of the marker for heavy. Mm-hmm. Heavy, So anyway,
that's when a regular material pick would kind of stop to bend.
Right.
Stop
and that's
bending,
that's why I liked them so much, because mediums and lights, I like those on acoustics because they do have that flex and they give you some more like percussive string noise.
Yeah.
But I don't think that translates well on electric.
It turns the string noise, and it doesn't always translate well on acoustic too. It depends on what's going on. And if you have a mic that's anywhere close to your hand, like kind of, I don't know. I tend to not like them very much when any recording situation, really, because of what it does to the note. And I could see a situation where you would kind of want it to be super even and not dynamic. And that might be a good way to achieve that. Anyway.
So I've got a 1.5 mil acrylic here. They do a Jazz 3 size, which is rad, and you can get it in small, medium, or large. So the Jazz 3 size smalls are exactly Jazz 3s if you're like me. Mm-hmm. So I've got a 1.5, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 mil pick.
All right.
The 1.5, 4, and 5 are new. Excuse me, I'm burping. 2 beers tonight, so
wow,
burpy. I've had the 2 and the 3 for a while. I like those a lot. But look at this. This is a medium size. Look at this sumbitch. Look how thick this bastard is.
It's almost a circle. It's almost as thick as it is wide.
It's a good constant radius.
It's a new pick. It's a fucking blueberry. Check out my new pick.
It's a blueberry.
It's a marble. It's a how many mils is that, dude? Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, here it is like stacked up with the 1.5. So it is large and in charge,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go through like, here's the 1.5. Here's the 2.
Sorry,
here's the. I'm not gonna.
You with the blueberry again. It just breaks. There's fucking juice,
smush everywhere.
Juice everywhere. Just blueberry schmeh. All right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen now. I swear.
That's okay. So here's the 1.5. I just want to see hopefully this will translate over Discord. So that sound, that snappiness, I feel like that's what I get out of these thin picks.
Okay.
Thinner picks, and that's what I like.
Okay.
For like the hard-hitting rock and roll, I like that like pop that it has. So now this, I don't know if you can really see this.
It's
not
just
really,
so thick. It's like
it's super thick, but it's wedged, so it comes down to a point. And what that means is you can feel the tip of the pick. You can kind of see it in some of the images scrolling on the site here.
Yeah.
But there's also where the plane of the pick surface starts to dip down so it can go to that point. There's like two
it's like
surfaces.
Beveled, and then it lets go of the string, right? So it starts to move and then it lets go.
So you can feel that ridge. You can feel that change. You can feel the bevel happen. And that might be a deal breaker for some. It's not something I expected. So anyway, here's the 1.5 again. And here's the 5.
I think I can hear it. It's like
so it's like
it's like a softened attack. It really is.
It's a softened attack. That's like what I'm saying.
It ploinks less. You're reducing your ploink. The ploink of your pick.
We got a lot of good titles.
No, it would be you're reducing the ploink of your plectrum.
Your ploinctrum. So, right, but here's the thing that happens with big picks.
You get that big pick energy.
Can you hear this? It might be too soft.
It sounds like you're doing like a hammer-on with just the pick.
I am.
It's like a baby bird.
Yes. So you hear that, but that's
I do.
You hear it happening?
Oh, it's doing it right in the note, yeah.
So depending on how you attack the string, that is more severe or not. So
what happens if you play Blackbird with this pick right now?
Well, Blackbird's fingerprint, Justin, get the fuck out of here.
Can you make this happen, Derek? The point is we need the birds to be coming from the guitar while you're...
Are we going to get like a DMCA takedown?
If you play Blackbird, no.
Anyway. Oh. It'd be good if I remembered how to play it. Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, that was great. Just like I remember.
Anyway, so these little picks don't do that as much.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there, but it's much harder to do because there's less surface area on the pick for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh God, now I can't stop hearing it. Are you doing it on purpose? Are you making it worse?
I am a little bit. So like, depending on how you attack the string, right? You have to be completely, is it parallel or perpendicular now? Like, which one is it? Because
parallel
the plane
is like
of
this.
I know that, but like
perpendicular is like this.
I know, but like my attack is perpendicular, but the pick is parallel.
Yeah, so your motion is perpendicular. So what you're saying is if you have the pick flat, instead of touching it with one edge before the rest, if you have it flat, it makes the bird sound?
It's both. So right, if the pick is not coming in perfectly perpendicular to the string.
Oh, so if you do hit it at a slight angle.
Yeah, that's when it happens. Because it's effectively like a slide at that point.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just way up high because you're over the pickups. But if I come in totally, and that's just like me kind of fucking it up to exaggerate this.
Yeah.
You can make it stop. I'm still on the 5 here. But there's also this other
it's doing this on wound strings too.
Yes.
Because that sounds like unwound strings, doesn't it?
Well, so that's the unwound.
Okay.
Up high. Lower, it's going to sound like a pick scrape.
Okay, I see.
So like, I'm coming in kind of like this way a little bit. So it's the leading edge is down. So it is causing a little bit of slide.
Are these picks a training aid? Is this to teach people to use like perfect pick technique? Because otherwise you'll sound like birds.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, I guess. But no, I mean, I got this because I was like, I'm seeing thick picks all over. And like all these, companies like Honey Picks, these small businesses and stuff that are making 5, 6, 7, 8 millimeter picks. And I'm like, that's absurd. Like, I may as well play guitar with a cherry tomato, and
or a blueberry. So what?
Yeah. So
so that's the thing. Was there a market need that these companies filled, or did these companies set up and say, well, we want to make picks, and
how can we do it in a cool way?
Who cares about us? Because you can just get these things for 10 cents at the shop when you're buying strings from Dunlop. And they said, well, what we'll do is we'll make insane shit that they don't have at the music store so you can only get them from us. And that will, you know. And
I mean, there's that.
there a
There's
purpose
other.
to this? They didn't even know before they started.
I mean, it's there's the shape game too. So
Yeah.
like, there's these. I don't know if you can see this. It might be too dark, but this is like an offset asymmetrical.
Yeah.
I'll do that thing. Like it's an
you go.
asymmetrical pick shape.
Right.
I've got some. Like here's just kind of a wider triangular thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so
we talked
I don't
about
know.
a bunch of these shapes from
Yeah,
from Honey one other time too, but
Yeah, I've had some other stuff from them. And then it's the materials too. So these ones that we were talking about today were acrylic, which does have a sound that's different than celluloid. And I think, this Kieranite stuff has a different sound. If you get into things like casein, which is like an animal protein, it's like a tortoise shell, like a faux tortoise shell type of material. It's actually, funny enough, the protein in milk that Jack is allergic to.
stay away from the picks, Jack.
Don't let him touch the picks. But it's not this like Tortex stuff. It's not. I don't even know. This one, I have these ones from. Is it Howling Monkey? Look how sharp this is. I don't know
Knife
if you can
pick.
really see it. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like really
yeah.
sharp.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them like that before.
This is made from some kind of like cured nut material. Not guitar nut, but like an actual like
what
the
did it
fruit
have
of a
before
tree
it was
nut.
cured? Oh, never mind.
I think we're done here. So I don't know. I wanted to talk about that quick.
I'm surprised how much I could hear it, and then I also can't stop hearing the bird sounds now.
Yeah.
So
and
what do I do with that?
I think like part of that's on me for like really exaggerating that and trying to point that out. But the really interesting, I don't know if it's interesting, but go get a really thick pick and see how you feel about it. Because I think, I when I was coming up with guitar, it was very like, start with a medium, see how you feel. Start with a medium. Don't worry about picks right now. And then somebody gave me a heavy and it was like, oh, this is so much better, and it just felt louder and I don't know, better, more direct. And then you get into like shapes, and then you get into materials, and then it can it's a slippery slope, but go get a thick boy. See how that does.
I have this one here that's pretty, just hit my mic. I have one here that's pretty thin. This is like stuff people left here though. But mostly they're thick stuff. What's
cool too about honey picks is you can get all these different grips applied to the picks. So I've got a couple that have these holes in them. These are drilled straight through.
And it just gives you some of this like actual like turf tape. It's like
like grip tape.
It's not actually tape, but it's like sandpaper.
Like cat's tongue kind of material.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you can just get them with like other prints on them and other grippies. Very customizable over there at Honey Picks. Yeah, dude. I like what they do. Good company. And they send you a little piece of candy, a bit of honey when you order.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, just the logo embossment is like deep enough that it'd probably be enough grip for most of these for me. Well, except I don't know how I'd deal with the really thick stuff. I'm going to try playing.
That's specifically why I got all the holes in this one. It's because
these glass beads that are all over the place in these pictures, this is the same, like that is exactly like the pearl ones and the smoked glass and then the clear glass. Those are exactly the thing that I know those came from the Marshall's like store, the like craft decorating store. Because there's Michael's, that's what it is. There's like a jar. There's a few jars of that with like fake flowers in my house that have these all in the bottom.
It's the perfect thing to photograph pics with.
Is it? I was thinking it was some of the pics. I'm gonna actually go get one and I'm gonna try.
You gonna play guitar with it? Hey guys, I found a marble. Let me plug in.
I mean, it's not exactly a marble. It technically has a part that you would hold it with, I guess, sort of.
There's a flat side, yeah.
Yeah, it's a flattish side, and
So is the flat side up or down? I would do flat side down.
I feel like I would want the flat side on my finger, and my thumb would be holding the round
so flat
part.
side. Yeah, flat side down. Yeah,
because that would be then I'm striking with the
Right.
No, I'm not going to get anywhere near the flat side. When
Be
I'm
more
striking.
like a plectrum
Yeah.
in that case, rather than like a
marble,
like a hammer situation.
I wonder what the bird sound situation is going to be like when I'm.
Probably pretty similar.
I wonder if I can play anything with that dumb thing. It'll be like the pick version of when you're just playing with your thumb. I'll do it.
Or like, do you ever play with like a nickel or something? Because it's all you can find.
No,
It'll
because
be like
I
that.
honestly I play like with my hand in pick shape, but no pick in it all the time. Like when I'm trying to play softer, and I'll occasionally like do little thumb plucks, but I don't really do much like a proper finger style, but I'll do little like nails. I'll do little nails to it, you know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I gotcha.
about.
Yeah.
So
that's what I do when there's a guitar in a place and I need to move it out of my way, and I just like pick it up like doodle-doodle-doot, and I put it back down somewhere. I'm not going to go grab a pick for that.
You haven't violated causality in the universe. I understand completely. Yeah. You held a guitar. And obviously,
I mean, you gotta plink it a little bit. You gotta ploink it a little.
Just give it a little. There's a
little ploink. Yeah. We should probably stop podcasting.
Okay. Yes, we've run over. We're 10 minutes over. I apologize personally for my part in that, which was I said all the dumb things, and.
Is that different than normal? Never mind.
No, but it led us here. It's part of the path. All right, look.
Oh, I didn't put thing of the week on here. Thing of the week.
Thing of the week. Marbles.
Marbles
and blueberries.
And what's mine? I have a real one. I got a music suggestion.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So let's do thing of the week. Is your suggestion?
I'll do a music. Yeah, my suggestion is play your guitar with a marble. You big softy. Come on. What are you gonna do? No, I thought. You know what? Because I'm gonna talk about this for ages. I was gonna say that new thrice thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna make me want to talk about it. Maybe. All right. This forces me to not talk about it for very long.
Okay.
All right, because I don't want to go long on this. So it's the new Thrice record is a remake.
Re-recording.
A re-recording, yeah. It's not a re-release, it's a remake of Artist in the Ambulance, which is one of their earlier records when they had kind of a different sound to the band. And,
really different, yeah.
It
From
was
20 years ago.
20 years. And it was a really kind of a favorite album of mine at that time
it was
contemporary. Yeah, that was the kind of music that I was really jamming with at the time. It was fit right into my wheelhouse. It was great. And it is super interesting because there's a few fun things, like there's some guests and stuff that are on different songs, and that's fun to listen for. But they do the whole album true to form, but they sound like they do now.
They sound like Thrice today, not Thrice 20 years ago.
In the way that their records sound. Now, Thrice has gotten more and more into this. It's almost like band in a room. You can hear the ambience. It's not like a long echo, but they're definitely like using room mics for everything kind of sound, instead of like the early 2000s, coming off of nu metal. And it's not nu metal. It's
no, but
it has this the down-tuned guitar, like the tone of guitars at that time.
Well, it's a super tight thing. High gain.
It's kind of scoopy. And so anyway, so to me, like this has a different feel. The drums have a much more standing in the room with the drum set feel, and I can hear the walls of that drum room. You know what I mean? And the guitars have this mid-range focus that I think those tones were missing back then, in a sense. You know, it's
and just a crunch. Like it's a perfect case study in riffs are heavy, not guitar tones.
Exactly. And so to have them, like, the tones back then were, I think, a little more heavy metal, compared to what's going on now, but the riffs still rule. And if you have the time to compare, especially if you are familiar with the record before, like, it's so interesting that the note definition to me is a lot clearer on this new one. And it's not because there's a ton of extra highs and lows. You know what I mean? It's the mids. It's the mids, you guys.
Guess what? Guess what, bitch?
Guess what, bitch? It's the mids, as I keep saying. And so I think it's really interesting. Also, the vocals are pretty damn quiet in the mix, which I also think is interesting. Anyway, there's a lot to pay attention to because it's the same songs and the same record to be able to
you can get over the songwriting component.
Yeah, the production study of it is really interesting. So did they talk about that much beforehand? It just came out to my knowledge. No idea.
It just dropped. I don't know, but so exciting. There's a tour as well. They're doing an anniversary tour with it, album front to back thing, which I fucking love when bands do that. God, it's great. Oh man, did I tell you I'm going to see Death Cab and the Postal Service later this year?
Whoa. He's working hard that night.
Yeah. And it's for anniversaries of Transatlanticism and the Postal Service record.
And the Postal Service.
Give Up, yeah. And they're doing those albums front to back, and I cannot wait.
Wow.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
So anyway, check out the Artist in the Ambulance re-recording. It's fun. It is cool to hear and compare. I get a little bothered because the guitars are not always perfectly in tune. And I wonder if they were like using baritone guitars then and they're not now, or one or the other.
I think they weren't then and they are now.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of slop in the tuning that didn't exist in the old record, but the old record has this, now that I have better production ears, has this really irritating clipping distortion on the guitars of all things in the master. So there's parts of the end of the song where I can hear clipping distortion in the ring out of a guitar chord at the end of the song. And it just, yuck.
It's an interesting case of like what was in style too. You know, like that was the thing at the time.
Yeah.
That record sounds like records from 2003 or whatever. So my thing of the week is also a band, which maybe everybody's talking about that I'm just getting into, called Sleep Token. And Sleep Token is doing this thing. They're a band in the UK. They're fully anonymous. They're one of these masked bands. You don't know who's in the band, right? Because that's still cool, no matter how you cut it. It is cool.
I mean, they can be changing members. You don't know.
You don't even know. Dave Grohl was rumored to be in Ghost for a little while. Just saying. So anyway, Sleep Token is progressive heavy metal meets indie rock. And those are two things that are very far apart on the spectrum of guitar-based music most of the time. Mm-hmm. And they do it. They do it real well.
All right.
So there are some of the most savagely, heaviest, brutalist riffs I've ever heard, next to very super delicate piano stuff. And the vocals are all very like soaring, sing-songy things, big production. There's like band lore. You know, they've got this like in a Coheed and Cambria kind of way? Yes, yes. Except they are in service of something that cannot be translated into English. The best approximation is the word sleep kind of thing. You know, it's this whole fucking production.
All right.
And it is weird. And sometimes I've shared it with a lot of people and they're like, I don't think I like this. You know, I don't know if I like the vocals, which is fine. Like very operatic vocal style, but just like monstrous songs in such an interesting way of clashing styles that makes you realize genres are fucking stupid. And you know what I mean?
Genres
just like
are over, idiot.
Write what you want to write. Just write the fucking thing, and who cares what it is. And they do a good job of that, but they've got 2 records out and there's some singles out for an album coming later this year. And it's like one of those bands that like there is a deep cult-like following for. Like members of the fan base are like, they worship, quote unquote, like not that they're worshiping literally, but concerts are called like, I'm going to worship, like Ghost does, like I'm going to a, what does Ghost call it? Like a ceremony or something like that. So it's great. It is hyper production stuff and just the coolest. So check out Sleep Token. And I've been listening to it a lot and it's great.
Fantastic. All right. That'll do it then. Great job, everyone. Everyone, just really, this is a good one.
Yeah. Got a lot of good titles.
out of
Look
nowhere.
forward to this at Christmas time.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. As usual, find our Discord at discord.io/tone control. And, step up. Support the show on Patreon. It's a good way to be. You'll be in good company when you do it, and good things will happen to you if you do it. I can almost guarantee that. Patreon.com/thetone control is where you'll find that. For as little as $1 a month, you'll help us do cool things. I was about to say help us make the show, but honestly, we'll make the show anyway. But
True.
The money goes right back
it helps
into it.
That, and it helps in a really validating way. So there's that.
There is that. Yeah, it does. It does help in that way. But
People actually give a shit.
We don't make money from the show. We don't pocket the donations that people make to us. We use them to do cool things for the community because, as far as I'm concerned, they're donating to the community that is around the Tone Control podcast. All right.
Correct.
That's a pretty good way of saying it.
Correct. And we'll be turning a lot of that money over later this year as our 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. We're going to do something big. We're going to do a big giveaway of some kind. And we use this. This is among the things that we use that money for. So support on Patreon. There's a bunch of different tiers. They come with different perks, some including for only $2 a month, joining us in the secret part of Discord where we record the show and get access to the episodes early and things like that. But in general, Discord is free. It is not a social network. They're not trying to steal your shit. You just come and chat with us. That's all there is to it. Discord's has a different way of making money. They don't sell ads. They do it the same way. You can basically sign up for Discord and you get special privileges to be able to do funny things with your name and use different emojis. It's really that simple. So
and honestly, I gotta say, it is nice not being advertised to all the time.
Yeah.
Hang out in Discord more than anywhere else these days.
I don't use any other social networks or anything, and I don't miss that. So anyway. All right. Yeah, that's it. So thanks to the patrons. This week we've got Nick Greenwood, Carson Ricketts. Oh, shoot, I didn't start the music. Oh. No, that's not a patron. Oh, God, now I'm all mixed up. All right, here we go. Nick Greenwood, Carson Ricketts, Matthew Fenslaw, Ryzen Wolf, Jamie Evans, Doug King, Big Daddy Doug, Righteous Ryan Johnson, Steve Huffman, Jonas Sabatini. We were supposed to rename him. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast, Mako Guitars, Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Doug Christ of 37 Effects, and Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects. Thank you all ever so much. And, and be well. Yeah, be well. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.